day we almost ran away. Nobody planned to run away from home. Not one of us woke up that Thursday morning thinking, "Tonight we will disappear from this town, even if only for a few hours." It simply happened, the way rain begins with one harmless cloud before the sky breaks open. We were 4 teenagers trying to survive the unpredictable storm called life. Timmy, whose home felt like a battlefield where words were bullets and silence was smoke. Mina, who wore smiles like brightly colored wrappers covering a fragile gift. Jayden, loud and confident on the outside, but inside, his heart beat like a scared drum. And me, Charles, the one everyone called responsible, even though responsibility was beginning to feel like a bag of stones strapped to my chest. We were all tired. Not the type of tired sleep could fix, but the type your soul feels. That Thursday started like any other day in Riverland High School, but by afternoon, each of us had been shaken in different ways. Timmy got into a heated argument with Mr. Douglas, one of the strictest teachers in school. Mr. Douglas had called him a useless distraction during class. Timmy, already carrying the weight of his parents' constant arguments, snapped back. That earned him a suspension and a phone call to his furious mother. Mina received her test results, another low score in mathematics. Her mother, instead of offering comfort, told her how much of a disappointment she was, comparing her to cousins she barely knew. Jayden's younger brother crashed his motorbike that morning. Though Jayden wasn't even there, everyone somehow blamed him for not guiding his brother well. The pressure to be the responsible older sibling grew heavier. And me? I walked into my room after school and found a letter on my bed. My father's handwriting. A handwriting I hadn't seen in nearly a year. My hands shook before I even opened it. "Charles, I need space again. Don't wait for me. I'll reach out if I can. Take care of your mother." Felt like someone had punched a hole straight through my chest. My father had left again, a disappearing act he had mastered over the years. That evening, we met at our usual hideout, the abandoned football field behind the school. We didn't plan it. Somehow we all just walked there as if pulled by a shared invisible string. Timmy arrived first, kicking stones like they were responsible for his suspension. Mina came next, trying to smile but her eyes were glassy. Jayden followed, hands in pockets, his usual swagger dimmer. I came last, holding the letter like a silent cry. We sat in the same row on the old metal bench, our usual formation for unspoken problems. We didn't say much at first. The world felt too loud, and the field felt like the only quiet place left. The sun dipped behind the school buildings, painting the sky orange, but none of us admired it. Our minds were too full. Then Jayden broke the silence. "Let's run away." We laughed at first because Jayden always said something dramatic, but the laughter faded because somewhere inside, all of us knew we didn't want to go home that night. That was the beginning of everything. Jayden's suggestion hung in the air like smoke from a small fire, dangerous if ignored, tempting if fed. None of us replied immediately. The field was quiet except for the rustling of grass and the distant sound of moving vehicles somewhere in the neighborhood. Timmy broke the silence first. "You mean run away? Like leave home? For real?" Jayden shrugged, kicking a bottle cap on the ground. "Not forever. Just for tonight. Just to breathe." Mina leaned her head on her knees. "I don't know if that's a good idea," but her voice didn't sound convinced. It sounded tired. I didn't say anything. I kept staring at my father's letter. I had folded and unfolded it so many times that the edges were soft, like paper that had aged years and hours. Jayden continued, "Look, I'm not saying we disappear from the world. I'm just saying we take a break. A small one. Somewhere far enough to feel free but close enough to return." Timmy exhaled sharply. A break from what exactly? He didn't need to ask. We all knew. A break from constant shouting. A break from comparing ourselves to expectations we never agreed to carry. A break from pretending we had everything under control. A break from being young adults in homes where we were supposed to be children. Mina raised her head slightly, her eyes shiny. "I just want one day where nobody tells me what I'm doing wrong. And I want," Timmy added quietly, "one night without hearing my mom and dad fight like the world is ending." Jayden nodded slowly. "Exactly." A soft breeze blew across the field, lifting Mina's hairs and brushing against my face. The sky above us was turning darker, deeper, almost pulling us into its calmness. For a moment, I thought about home. The tension in my mother's eyes, the silence between us, the empty chair at the dining table. I found myself whispering, "Where would we even go?" Jayden's face brightened with the thrill of having a plan. "The hill behind the railway station. It's quiet. No one goes there." Timmy frowned. "That place? It's far." "Not that far," Jayden said. 30 minutes walk. And it's peaceful. I've gone there a few times when things get too loud at home." I looked at him, surprised. "You never told us." He shrugged. "Some places feel better when you keep them to yourself." Mina breathed out slowly, the kind of breath someone takes when they finally accept something they've been fighting inside. "Okay. If we go, we have to come back before morning." Jayden nodded. "Of course." Timmy stared at his shoes for a long moment. Then he said, "I'll bring a blanket." Mina whispered, "I'll bring snacks." Jayden said, "I have a torchlight and power bank." Both boys looked at me. I hesitated, then lifted the letter. "I'll bring this. It's why I need to get away tonight." No one said anything after that. They didn't need to. Our hearts had already agreed before our mouths did. The night felt different, like the world had turned down its volume so we could hear our own hearts. By 9 p.m., the streets were quiet, most houses lit with the soft glow of evening routines. But none of us were in a routine mood. We each slipped out of our homes quietly, not because we wanted to hide from our parents, but because we didn't want to explain something even we barely understood. I reached the meeting spot first, the small junction beside the mango tree near Mina Street. The sky was sprinkled with stars, blinking like they were curious about our little adventure. I held my backpack tightly. Inside were only two things: a bottle of water and my father's letter. Timmy came next, dragging a folded blanket under his arm. He wore slippers, shorts, and an oversized hoodie, the kind of outfit that said he used comfort as armor. "You okay?" I asked him. "Not really," he replied honestly. "But I will be." Mina arrived a few minutes later with a small bag holding biscuits and some chin-chin. Her face was calm, but her fingers were shaking slightly. Jayden showed up last, carrying a torchlight and power bank, just as he promised. His steps were confident, but his eyes gave him away. They were tired, the kind of tired that lives deep. "Everyone ready?" he asked. No one said yes, but no one said no either. That was enough. We began the walk toward the railway station. The path was quiet, with only the sound of crickets and the occasional motorcycle passing by. The four of us moved together like a small boat sailing through a dark sea. After 10 minutes of silence, Timmy asked, Do you think this is stupid? Jayden answered, maybe, but sometimes stupid things save people. Mina laughed softly. Like when? Like when I dyed my hair blonde to annoy my dad, Jayden said with a grin. It made him so angry he forgot we were fighting. We all laughed, even Timmy. As we approached the back of the old railway station, the environment grew quieter, the kind of silence you only find in places forgotten by time. The hill lay just behind it, a gentle slope covered in wild grass. It didn't look magical, or special, or even particularly beautiful, but it looked peaceful, and that was enough. We climbed slowly, using the torchlight to avoid holes in the ground. At the top, we spread the blanket and sat close together, letting the night air wrap around us. For a moment, nobody spoke. We just listened to the wind, to our own breathing, to the silence we had been craving. Finally, Mina whispered, "Do you think they miss us at home?" Timmy shrugged. "Maybe," Jayden said. "Maybe they don't understand how close we were to breaking." I added quietly, "Maybe we don't understand how much they need us, too." We shared the biscuits. We joked. We told stories that made our stomachs hurt from laughter. And then slowly, gently, the truth began to rise in the space between us. A truth about how hard life felt. How scared we were of disappointing people. How lonely growing up could be. We didn't come there to be dramatic. We came because sometimes young people need to run away. Not from life, but toward a moment of softness. And that night, on that quiet hill, we chose ourselves. Just about midnight, our phones began ringing and vibrating nonstop. We checked them. Hundreds of missed calls, messages, voice notes. Our families thought we had been kidnapped. The entire estate was awake. Security men were searching. Neighbors were panicking. Someone had even called the police. Our hearts dropped, not because we were afraid of being punished, but because we didn't expect anyone to care so much. Then came the message that froze all of us. It was from my mom. It said, "Charles, please come home. I can't lose you too." My chest tightened. A few seconds later, Mina's phone buzzed. Her mom's message said, "Mina, please come back. I'm sorry for everything I said. I love you." Then Timmy's, then Jayden's. We looked at each other, for teenagers who suddenly felt wanted, seen, valued. We started walking home, at first in silence. Then we looked at ourselves and burst into laughter. The kind that heals.